What was daily life like for a medieval peasant? For most of us, had we lived in medieval England, we would have been peasants. Around 90 to 95% of the population were ordinary people working the land. Peasant simply meant someone who farmed. Smallholders, tenant farmers, laborers. But even within that group, status varied widely. Some were serfs, legally bound to the lord of the manor. Others, like villeins or cottars, had more freedom, and at the top were free men who paid rent in money rather than service. The feudal system governed these relationships. Peasants worked the land, and in return the lord provided protection and some rights. Most people lived in small villages of 100 to 150 people. Homes were modest, usually one-story buildings made of wood and thatch. They were more like shelters than modern houses, places to sleep and store things. Life was centered outdoors. Each village was typically surrounded by large, open fields divided into long strips. Each peasant worked their designated strip, often about 22 yards wide by 220 yards long, an acre. That length, in fact, was the origin of the word furlong or furrow-long. These fields were cultivated in rotation, with areas of common land and even unused waste land nearby. A peasant's day began at dawn. Without clocks, people woke naturally to light and sound, animals stirring, light pouring through unglazed windows. People washed using a cloth and a bowl of water. Hygiene existed, it just looked different. No showers, but people did clean themselves. Breakfast was simple: rye bread, cheese, maybe an apple, and ale or water. People didn't bake bread daily, and cooking was limited by time and resources. Some reheated leftover pottage, a thick soup of grains and vegetables. After eating, men went out to their fields with their tools and sometimes a packed lunch. Women managed the home, gathered herbs, tended gardens, fetched water, and cared for animals. Children helped too. From a young age, they were expected to contribute, feeding chickens, collecting firewood, or helping in the fields. Lunch, or dinner as it was called, was the main meal, often eaten in the field during harvest. Pottage, bread, and perhaps some hard cheese made up the typical meal. Wild herbs and foraged foods supplemented the diet. Poaching likely occurred more than records admit. Peasants wouldn't confess illegal hunting to church scribes. Work resumed until sunset. Though the official story is dawn to dusk, there was probably some flexibility. People worked hard, but the goal was completing the task, not punching a clock. Evenings were for rest and community. There were no taverns in most villages, but alehouses existed. Lighting came from rushlights or simple candles. Entertainment was limited to games like Nine Men's Morris or storytelling. Occasionally, someone might bring gossip from the market, a kind of medieval social media. Some sources suggest a pattern of segmented sleep. People went to bed early, woke for a few hours around midnight, then returned to sleep. Whether common or not, physical labor likely sent most peasants into a deep sleep until dawn. Monday was wash day. Women gathered at communal spots to scrub laundry, often using aged urine for its ammonia content as a cleanser, then rinsing clothes in streams and drying them on bushes. It was social and physically demanding. The rhythm of life was heavily seasonal. Harvest was frantic. Winter was quieter but riskier. Famine and disease were constant threats, but life had structure. Market days, feast days, holy days, offering variety and purpose. After the Black Death, laborers were in short supply. Laws tried to keep wages and food quality low, but peasants began to realize their value. It planted the seeds for slow but real social change. In all, a peasant's life was tough, but rich in community, rhythm, and meaning. It was hard work, but not joyless. It was grounded in land, family, and survival.